I want to talk about the future of the iPhone. When I sat down to write this video, I originally was going to do a 3-month review on the iPhone 16, but I found it really hard to come up with new things to say about this year's iPhone. This is the best iPhone Apple has ever made, but it's boring. What I do want to talk about in this video is what is coming next from Apple and what I think Apple can do to breathe new life into the iPhone. There have been 2 rumors that have popped up in the last couple months that I find extremely interesting and I want to talk about them. 99% of you who regularly watch this channel have yet to subscribe, so please go down and click that button now. The more of you that subscribe, the faster and more often I can make you content. If you are seeing me for the first time, I need to earn that subscription, so let's get into the video. First off, let's go over what I do like about the iPhone 16, starting off with how dependable the phone is. I am an iPhone person through and through, and I always will be, and even though that there are more exciting Android phones out there, to me the iPhone just fits right at home. You can always count on the iPhone. It may not be the most exciting phone out there, but it is consistent. Now for the camera control. This thing is completely useless. Don't get me wrong, it is cool and I've used it from time to time, but it's not the feature that I would be upgrading for in the slightest. Apple Intelligence is really cool, and I think that writing tools in particular is one of the most interesting features Apple released this last year. Genmoji and Image Playground have been fun to mess around with, but until Personal Contacts is released sometime in 2025, I can't really say much has changed overall. Siri is still Siri, and I can't wait for that to change. Video on that when it does come out. But that's my overview for the iPhone 16. I think that it is the best phone that Apple has ever made, but I'm more excited to see what comes next. There are 2 main rumors about the iPhone 17, and let's start with the iPhone 17 Air. This phone is not confirmed, and it's purely speculation on the internet's part, but essentially it's a very thin iPhone. Rumors say that this phone is going to be about 5mm thick, which means that it's about 25% thinner than my current iPhone 16 Pro Max. The iPhone 16 Pro Max will also be getting a design change for the cameras and will move away from the stovetop design of the iPhone 16 Pro and move to a layout more similar to the Google Pixel line. There are 2 designs for this top-oriented camera bar, and I personally like the blacked out visor similar to the Pixel 9 Pro. I think it does look the best. I believe that this is most likely the year that we're going to be losing the Pro Max naming and go for the iPhone Ultra naming scheme that we've heard about in rumors for the last couple of years. The reason why I'm really excited about this is because for the first time since 2020, we might actually be getting a redesign to the iPhone. I think that the main issue that Apple has right now is that they're not taking enough risks with things. Long gone are the days of Steve Jobs pulling the MacBook Air out of an envelope to a cheering crowd. I cannot tell you how much I miss the live keynote format. The biggest risk Apple has made over the last couple of years is with the Vision Pro, and it seems to be not going super well. I have my own thoughts on why, but that deserves its own video. Over the last couple of years, iPhones have gotten thicker and larger year over year. So why, if the market is going in the direction of massive phones, is Apple going to try to make the thinnest possible iPhone? My question is really, who are these phones for? Well, I believe that they're for 2 different types of people. The Pro or the Ultra version is specifically for photographers and power users that want the best and most feature-packed phone on the market. The iPhone Air will be for those design enthusiasts that are wanting the sleekest and best looking phone out there and are willing to sacrifice on features to have something different. Apple has over the past couple of years tried the mini and the plus size phones and failed to capture mass appeal with buyers. Maybe an Air or an Ultra phone will attract new interest in the iPhone. But you tell me, would you like to have an iPhone with less features if it looked different? Start a discussion in the comments below and let me know what you think. Now for my thoughts on what I think that Apple should do with the iPhone. Nothing. I think the iPhone is perfect, and I think that we need to really stop changing things for the sake of changing things. I think that iOS needs a lot of work, and I think Apple really needs to sit down and fix all of the little UI and software bugs that people have been complaining about for years. Sit down, make the OS feel good again. Go ahead and change the colors and tweak the way things look slightly, but please sit down and make this software experience work well. Make Apple Intelligence good, stick the landing, make Siri good and more helpful than it is now. Personal Contacts, if done correctly, will fundamentally change the way that people interact with their iPhones. Take your time, Tim. Have your hardware and your software team work together. Make it just work. Tell me what you think in the comments below. What is one thing that you wish Apple would change about the iPhone?